869, Skinner 939. They flip the script again. And I just think that's the challenge when you get into these specific matchups. There's only 3 teams left in the NHL that are still playing. And, it comes down to a specific matchup at a specific time. And quite frankly, both years, I think the Dallas Stars went in feeling like they were a better team and a deeper team, and they haven't proven it. The top guys just have not risen to the level of the entire team, I think, the way that Edmonton's played. I think for Pete DeBoer going out now, you got to find a way. I think you put Wyatt Johnson with Rantanen. Johnson had 10 goals last year. You got to find a way to spark a kid who's still young, who's still, learning the game at this intense of a level, but he's got that ability. He's got to play with a little bit of flair. He's got to play with some confidence. They haven't had that. They haven't had that from Robertson, although he scored in the last 2 games. I think you have to shuffle it up and say, erase the negatives that are in anybody's mind right now. We got 1 game to try to stay alive. I'm going to ride the guys that in the past have given me that. I think you have to find something. Rupe Hintz and Rantanen haven't really connected in this series at all. I'd be switching that up if I were Pete.
Yeah, that makes some sense. So we were talking about the Oilers and just saying that, basically everyone's playing good. You go down the list and be like, how about this guy? RNH, he's awesome. Everyone is playing good. But I don't know how much of it happens without, of course, the big 2. I want to talk about Leon Draisaitl for a second, just because I can't think of someone who plays a more, enjoyable playoff style of hockey. You're more confident in the way he handles the puck and thinks. And you've watched a lot of playoff years and seen a lot of success over it. Does he not just seem built to drive a team in these deep series?
100%. Everybody talks about the game gets tighter in close quarters and, there's no time or space. You watch his game, even game 14 of a regular season, he can play any way. He can go flying down the ice at 100 miles an hour. He's a faster guy than maybe you expect out of the big body. But his entire makeup of his game is stick your rear end out, get your arms, protect the puck, buy a little bit of time, spin off, put the puck between your stick and skate. I mean, all the little details of skill sets that you'd want, and especially you add to a 230-pound guy who's got a long reach and a great shot. That is playoff hockey in a nutshell, and that's the way that he is so comfortable playing in those style of games. It's been brilliant to watch. You go back to, what was it, 22, both he and Connor in those series against the Calgary Flames when he was playing injured even, you got a feeling, he's got a drive like his teammate. Their drive is like Gretzky and Messier, it is really going back for me watching to the game's best player and arguably one of the top 5 other players in the entire game. And it's watching 2 guys that now don't have the cups that those 2 have had. But, man, that drive and that intensity and the understanding of how important their role is exactly like watching it or living what we did. Like in 1988, we had 16-2 guys to win the Stanley Cup. But they're 11-2 right now since those 2 losses. That's a pretty significant accomplishment, and it comes from the drive and the calmness and the consistency of those top players. Drags everybody along, makes guys. You put on the board. Pete DeBoer has a game plan to try to shut down McDavid, try to shut down Draisaitl. Here's what they do: maybe even Bouchard on the back end. But you don't have the game like Gretzky and Messier. How do you shut down Jari Kurri in a one-timer? How do you stop Glenn Anderson going on the net? How do you get Jesse Tikkanen when he's going? Well, right now you had Zach Hyman in that same way. How do you stop Ryan Nugent-Hopkins? He's been the best player, arguably offensively, in the series. That's been the challenge for Dallas. You got to focus on those 2 guys. And like you said, Justin, everybody else has risen their game to their highest level as well. It's been fun to watch, and hopefully for them, they're a driven bunch that wants to do what Florida did last night and get that rematch ready to go and start it again.
Simmer, one more for me, and I'll let you go as you prepare tonight for the Oilers and Dallas Stars on Sportsnet and CBC here. And I don't want to put the cart before the horse here for you here, buddy, but I may anyways here. So how much of a void could we see as early as tonight with no Zach Hyman or the next series against the Florida Panthers?
Yeah, I think you're not to look ahead, right? But I think it does have an impact on tonight. I think much like the way they played in Game 4 without him, other guys like Perry stepped in admirably and played a significant role, as he has all year. But let's not kid ourselves. Corey Perry's not Zach Hyman in terms of the pace in the game and the strength that he brings. I'll be interested to see, because a guy that, quite frankly, to me, still hasn't really fit in or found his way is Trent Frederick. And he hasn't really looked comfortable. He's played okay. He hasn't really showed much of the intensity and the things that you would maybe expect from him. And Nick, when you get to Florida, Hyman is a huge loss. I mean, he had a concerted effort this year to be physical. He's done that each and every game. That's a huge void against a team that plays the way Florida does. So, maybe you get the opportunity. Arvidsson came in, played hard and well, but he's no Hyman. I'll be interested to see if Frederick hey, man, all you got to do is play well for 7 games and, play the best hockey of your life and fill a role. And I know the most heartbroken guy is Hyman to be injured at the time that is most important to him. But somebody gets the opportunity then to walk into his shoes and play a role. And boy, what an opportunity it may be.
Simmer, great job throughout these Stanley Cup Finals, you and CC, and tonight will be no different. Looking forward to your call. Thanks for doing this, pal.
All right, take care, guys. See you.
That is Craig Simpson, NHL on Sportsnet. So I don't think we had. I don't think we had this discussion, but the Oilers targeting Hintz and his injury.
Yeah, Bouchard again,
buddy. I'm telling you right now, like, for me, the ultimate insult as a Dallas Star was Evan Bouchard doing that and laughing all the way to the bench.
Yeah.
If I'm Hintz, I am following Evan Bouchard
into the
bench, and I'm taking a whack at him. And at the worst, I'm looking at a 2 minutes each for slashing. But to do nothing on an Evan Bouchard is, to me,
you don't get to make those chops.
No, I'm sorry.
No, you're sorry. Did we just green light Evan Bouchard? That's what I'm thinking.
If I watch that and I'm like, Dallas is done. Yeah. When Evan Bouchard gets to do that and laugh at the bench and you do nothing, you want to talk about bad culture on an NHL team to try to win a Stanley Cup? Rupe. No good, my friend. No good. No freebies.
Well, Rupert would have gone back at him, though.
Rupert
would have.
Even though
Rupe did not.
If any of his teammates saw that, or mentioned it to someone,
that doesn't fly on Corey Perry's watch. It doesn't fly on Matthew Tkachuk's watch.
Well, you know what else? That was also Tampa Bay's reputation. Was that you'd give someone a rabbit punch and 5 Lightning guys were flying at you with their gloves in the air, and it's like, God, not this again. Good teams tend to have that pack mentality.
I'm excited for the game tonight.
I love this Oilers team right now in the playoffs. They're just so fun to watch.
And I'll tell you something. That Skinner takes sometimes a beating.
Yeah.
But
Skinner?
Yeah. Stuart Skinner.
Okay.
But he's been fantastic, and he answers the bell all the time. He looks people in the eye. He answers honestly. He's a treat.
He's a man.
He is.
He's a man.
He is. He's a man.
Stat. I don't have my second page of the lineup. Can you go in the Simmer? I put a stat in there about his save percentage in their wins this year.
Stu Skinner owns a 5-4 record this postseason. Is .985 save percentage in wins. Is the highest on record for one postseason. Well, his 0.39 goals against average in wins is the lowest in the league's modern era since 1943.
985? What the hell is that?
985 in wins.
I should hope they win.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Got a 985 in their losses.
Yeah.
What?
I'm assuming Edmonton gets past Dallas here at some point, if not tonight. Yeah. But I'm sad for Zach Hyman.
Yes.
I am. I'm really. I love this guy.
Me too.
And he's good for our game. He plays the game honestly. I'm not going to enjoy the final as much with without him
I'm not
against Florida.
I'm not going to go that far.
No. Seriously,
it would have been better.
It matters to me,
Sam, it would have been better.
Sure.
It'll still be good.
It's going to be very good.
But it's better with a guy like Zach Hyman.
Oh, I want
How impossible is it for him?
I think he had wrist surgery.
Wrist surgery.
Quickly, before we go.
2 weeks from now, game 6, game 7.
The jersey.
They're giving these jerseys away at the Jays game tomorrow. Look at those. Vladdy jersey, City Connect or whatever. 15,000 people first get tickets and go. Unbelievable.
Go to the
It's
Jays
stitched.
game.
Sammy,
What?
great corporate job.
Hey,
there.
listen.
That's
I
a
love the Jays.
Cool sweater.
Love the Jays. Bud.
Yes, we
Got
love
Guerrero
the Jays.
Jr. on the back.
Yeah, I know you don't really love the Jays. Like
Oh, I
do,
love the
Oh,
Jays.
hey, of
but
course he does. He's just mad at them for what's happening.
I mean, I don't know if you saw
I was
the
a face
electric
painter.
2-0 victory
Hey,
last
I was a
night.
face painter. Jay's face painter once upon a time.
I bought tickets today. I'll be there on the weekend.
Nice.
All right, jam-packed show. Our thanks to Luke Fox, Ed Jovanovski, and Craig Simpson. We are back at our unregularly scheduled time.
Yeah, tomorrow.
What time, Sammy?
I think 3 probably.
3
to 4.
Check your local listings, everybody. Have a great night. Enjoy Game 5.